Dorian Gray, one of the classic masterpieces in English literature, was authored by Oscar Wilde. The flamboyant genius of late Victorian England was both a literary icon and a social rebel. Living in a society of strict moral codes, Wilde was famously known for defying them. Through his wit, his fashion, and, more controversially, through his sexuality. Wilde's experiences as a man who was persecuted for loving freely and thinking differently bleed into the picture of Dorian Gray. Dorian Gray is a handsome young man whose portrait is painted by the artist Basil Hallward. When he meets Lord Henry Wotton, a man of intoxicating charm and dangerous philosophies, Dorian becomes enthralled. Under Lord Henry's influence, Dorian begins to believe that beauty and sensual pleasures are the only things worth pursuing. He wishes that the portrait would age instead of him, and that wish comes true. As years pass, Dorian indulges in a life of excess and moral decay, while his face remains unaged. But the portrait? It becomes monstrous, reflecting the corruption of his soul. When Basil confronts Dorian years later about his reputation and his soul, it becomes a fatal moment, the moral confrontation that Dorian refuses to face. He shows Basil the portrait, now hideously transformed, and then murders him in cold blood, stabbing him multiple times. He then blackmails an old friend, Alan Campbell, into disposing of the body, driving Campbell to suicide later on.
Believing he can destroy the evidence of his sins by stabbing the portrait, Dorian actually ends up killing himself. When his servants find him, he is a hideous old man, while the portrait has returned to its original beauty.